Radio in Eastern Uganda, 107.0 Buduri FM, 100.5 Ngea FM in Kasese, 98.0 West Nile FM in Arua, Totore Radio FM 90 in Karamoja, and 93.0 Voice of Butebo. Now you're covered in your local language. UBC Radios, inspiring Uganda. It's hot.
We passed it. We didn't know exactly what the problem was on the ground. There is no pretending about the effect of this thing. There's no pretending about it. Nobody should. It's a problem.
It's balanced.
This is not the stage at which you start planning to tax a commodity like coffee, especially from down there.
It's intellectually engaging.
The Constitution provides that the land must be registered under the customer tenure system, which is one of those that's recognized by the Constitution.
Ground Zero, live and syndicated on your public and national broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda. Welcome to Ground Zero, a show that brings you in-depth discussion ranging from politics, health, finance, sports, and so much more. Ground Zero.
Indeed, it is UBC Radio, and we're here to inspire you, the people of Uganda. I want to welcome you from the Sizzling Breakfast on UBC Radio and the other programs that we've had from other radio stations. We are live on 5 radio stations that cover this program. UBC Butebo in Eastern Uganda, UBC Radio in all parts of the country, and maybe we can remind ourselves of the frequencies that you can get all our programs or our programming on different radio stations. In case you're in Kampala, that is 98.3 FM, Alua 97.4 FM, Lira 99.4 FM. Those who are in eastern parts of this country, we are live on another important radio station, that is Butebo Radio 96.9 FM, that is in Mbare. In case you are in Soroti, we're 98.4 FM. And we also tune to another radio station, that is UBC Western Nile, that is in the heart of Alua City. In case you're there, and Western Nile, Lango, actually, Teswa and Karamoja sub-regions, you can get us on 98.0 FM. We are also streaming, we are also live on Magic 100 FM. Those in the central parts of this country, you can get us on Magic 100 FM. In western parts of Uganda, we are on Voice of Butebo, and we're also streaming live on YouTube. We just put UBC Ground Zero, and you'll be part of the conversation. We always value the contributions and your perspectives. You can always share them on 776-511-426. That is our studio line, by calling in or sending you messages. And I want to assure you that all your concerns are always addressed by the guests that we always have in our studios of UBC. Ampaire Amon Buteega is my name. I do have a very big privilege and honor to have a very special team of guests in the studios of UBC. And I want to thank you, our dear listener, for joining us in this very important conversation. We have just had a few months or a few weeks after the elections, which are very vital and a pillar of democracy. And they allow citizens to express their will, and I want to believe that all of us were given that right to go out and choose our leaders. Choose our leaders in local government, choose our leaders at the central MPs and the others. But also we did this to make sure that we shape the future of our own country. However, some elections are moments of participation and hope, and also can leave behind strong emotions, excitement for some people, and also some people get disappointed, especially when they don't go through, and sometimes tensions tend to rise within our communities. In many societies, not just in Uganda, we have had this and we have experienced this, and it becomes a serious concern where people, even in our families, are divided, where people in our communities are divided, when people tend to have different emotions rising because of elections that do not end in just a ballot box. The period after the elections is equally important because it determines whether we move forward as a country or as a community, as a family, as a united family, or as a united society, or we remain divided along those political lines. You supported, so I didn't support. And you find that we have those small statements that continue haunting us, especially among the supporters who invest their energy, their time, their expectations into these campaigns. And when the results are announced, managing those emotions become critical for peace, stability, and democratic maturity. I am joined by people who participated in these elections as the highest level, but we also have communications officers from government. I also have opposition being represented tonight, and we would love to look into our very important topic today, which says post-election emotions, managing tension, and promoting healing. How can we heal from the just concluded exercise and we move forward as a people of Uganda? I have Magezi Kirinju, is a communications officer coming from Government Citizen Interaction Center. It's a warm welcome, sir, to this edition.
Thank you, Mr. Amon. Thank you, Mr. Buteega. Thank you, our listeners, every Saturday who come and they share with us the experiences. And I'm happy to be around to, share with you at least and what I know. Yeah, thank you.
Interesting. I do have a privilege also to have someone who participated in this exercise at the highest level, not the president. When we talk about the highest level, people always think about that very first seat. And is a former member parliament contestant 2026-2031 on FDC ticket, and there in some good district called Bulambuli district, Bugiri district, that is Bukoli North. And this is Joseph joining us this morning. He's going to share that. Joseph on the show.
Thank you, our moderator. I am excited to be here again. I'm also excited to have a friend with us here. Our listeners, please tune in. We are going to share with you.
Interesting.
Thank you so much.
If you can, he's excited to get it from you.
Oh,
did you contest already?
My name is just like our presenter has said. I did contest under FDC ticket, and of course I was one of the best performers, though not the best. I participated, and because maybe something like that, I did not win, but at least I performed very well.
You performed for the future, but not for the present.
Yes, you can take it that way.
Well, that was some good experience that we had. Indeed.
Fear that.
I know. Because that is one of the highest positions in the country.
The performance, that one is really, even if you don't talk about it, because in politics there's no middle ground. You win or you lose. But the most important part in politics is the decision to participate.
Okay.
That one I give him 100% appreciation.
Thank you, sir.
Interesting. And indeed some people fear to even even at local level. But someone coming through and you contest, at the one of the highest positions in the country, member of parliament, you must have really be willing to serve your country. That's not true. Just your constituency or the district. Interesting. That is the line of our discussion. We are going to look at the post-election emotions, managing tension, and also promoting healing. If you realized we are already putting on tension by just going him of what experience he went through. So
Of late, I interacted with one of the politicians. Is highly placed, and was congratulating me for participating. When he did congratulate me, I asked him, why are you congratulating me, and yet I did not go through? He said he had a colleague who had participated for quite a long time, over 4 times, and he had never gone through. This colleague comes from northern Uganda under the ticket of DP, but this time round he has made it to parliament. The second DP.
On the
second
same ticket, DP.
Yes. The second question was, how many times have you contested? And I told him it's my first time. He said, now, which position were you? I said number 3. Who was the best and who was the second? What were the challenges involved in the elections? So when you go through all that, you find that at least I did participate and I had the will. So he appreciated my will to participate.
Amon, one of the lifesavers of humanity is an unfortunate situation called post-mortem.
True.
If you go through, you must find out what killed this one.
Sure.
So of your own death. So if it was Maria,
You secure the Okay,
Yes.
that's interesting. Interesting. That is the line of discussion, and we're going to. Okay, it's just one of is 1% of those that have had, because I realized that members of parliament are about 512 or 29.
yeah,
Around there, 500 plus. But if you are to go through the just concluded exercise, at least you'd find that the is saying that there were 3 or 4. So you can imagine the number of MPs that had contested. You'd find that there are about 3,000 or 4,000 or even 2,000 is not just a small number. So you would find that 2/3 of those who contested, only one, of course we wanted one person to go through, meaning all the others are there fighting the post-election motions, but also trying to heal from the exercise. This is not just on one position of the members of parliament. We also look at the president, we also look at the local councils, and you'd find that most people are fighting to get back into the community, to live post-elections, to live with their families. I've had one of the families where the wife did not support the husband. And where do you think that family is? So we're going to look into that and share our views on what needs to be done to make sure that we all live in better Uganda. We move together as a people of Uganda without taking sides, without always recalling and being haunted by what we saw last time. Before I share the experience of here, I want him to first give us the picture. You come from an opposition, because coming on FDC ticket you represent also opposition members of or candidates that contested. Do you think you were given a fair platform to say, I could have failed, but at least I was given chance to stand from the time of registration up to the time of polls, especially from the Electoral Commission and the community as well? Okay.
Thank you so much. According to me, I want to be very honest with myself. When we went for nomination, right from nomination, myself, I was given a fair treatment as an individual. Why? Because
And as a candidate as well.
as a candidate, when you look at my personality myself, I am not that shrewd person. So depending on the personality, sometimes and the way you relate with the different officers, different people in offices, also determines how they will treat you. However, when you look at when we went through the processes of elections, when we were left with about 1 week, that's when the tension came in. That's when non-partisan people like the security officers who were meant not to participate in the processes were brought in underway. I realized there was a day that I was meant to have my rally somewhere in a place called Namayemba, and I noticed that there was another candidate was placed in the same area where I was supposed to go. When I tried to contact the police officers and the electoral commission to address the issue, that was not ironed out. So I realized maybe there was unfair treatment in one way or the other, because we had the roadmap, everyone had a program for their venue, when and what time should they go at a specific venue. But when I realized that somebody has interfered with my program, I tried to raise the issues, my concern, to the electoral commission. I tried to raise to police to address the issue. That was not addressed. So that was not only in one place, but at least some other places.
Okay.
I realized one candidate of the ruling party was given security at the expenses of other candidates, and you see, his security was not only defending him, but was defending him when he was giving out money.
Okay.
As a means of bribe. Yes.
Do you see those, I would call them small but very significant incidences that you could have in any way jeopardized your exercise, and perhaps that could have led to your loss?
Definitely. When a person bribes the voters by giving them, lining them up for resources, giving them handouts, and yet you are not giving out, what does that mean? That means he takes advantage over you.
Okay.
Secondly, if he interferes with your campaign programs, once you miss out a program, a venue, you may not get time again to come back and campaign in that specific place. So in such a way, you lose out somewhere, somehow. Yeah.
Interesting. From what you are saying, one would tell that indeed you have some emotions, but after that election results, with those emotions that you have personally through that experience, how did you manage them, both as an individual but also as a candidate and as a leader with supporters looking up to you?
The first thing, as a leader, you must accept the truth that you have feelings. If you do not accept that you have feelings, emotional feelings, then you are likely to face it more rougher. Because if you accept that I have a challenge of emotional feeling, you can either, personally, I used to get closer friends, those that I associate with, those that can empathize with me, those that can encourage me. Those are the friends that I used to associate there after the elections. Then, away from that, there is a time that I developed more pressure on myself. I had to go to seek for the medical attention, because I had a colleague a few months ago. Of late, we buried him, but he's one of the people that I participated with in elections. I want to draw to your attention that initially I was for NRM, but before I crossed, I even went through the primaries of NRM. I want to bring that attention to you. But when we went through those primaries, there were a lot of entangles. You should have known that as a journalist. So I had to cross to another party because of these other kind of entanglements, challenges that were underway that primary elections. So the gentleman that passed on, according to the doctors, they said he died because of pressure, high blood pressure. And it is alleged that the pressure is likely maybe to have been caused because of the political feeling, because of the political emotions. So I learned from that if you do not accept that you have pressure on yourself, you have a feeling, emotional feeling, then you may not seek for medical attention. That's why I want to argue the listeners that where is politics alone? Politics, because we have politics in businesses, we have politics in other, maybe in offices. But if you realize you have a lot of emotional feelings, you have a lot of pressure on yourself, it is always important to seek for medical attention. And that's what I did myself. When I went to check on myself, I realized I had high pressure blood, and so I had to receive treatment. So that is basically what you have to do, and I did it.
Interesting. This is so really encouraging and a good message to the others that could have been going through the same situation. You can lose a life. Stress and depression are real, especially when it comes to elections and so many things. Chirinju, you are very active in the exercise from the word to go until now, and you happen to be a very, very vocal but also a communications officer when it comes to government, but also citizens. After elections, you must have also experienced that emotions run high and rumors spread so quickly. What role does government communication play in calming public tensions and to ensure that we heal as communities, we heal as families, we heal as the people of this beautiful country?
Thank you very much. First of all, condolences to the colleague who died, and of course Mr. Okea, for him, he survived. It was like a political accident where he crashed and
quick recovery to those who are sick.
Yeah, you
from the experience.
You condole of that, and also you welcome those who survived the accident. So I welcome Mr. I'm happy I survived this, and he has learned by his own, has learned a few lessons from the incident. One, I don't know that this is appropriate to say it on studio because it's a Chororo proverb. Bahororo are partly Bachiga, so their words are numerous, sometimes a bit rough. But there's a proverb in Ruchiga that one is somewhere shungono on yomompari. Loosely translated that if you fight with anger, you may soil your pants.
Okay.
So you don't fight. You can't. No, you don't do that. Now, if you know, he says he participated. Okay, has participated in NRM elections. Didn't win, so out of anger he crossed. That was enough to give him pressure. Anyway, but normally it's better in politics. It's very important to, not even politics, in general life. It's very important to enter any race after registering, doing a check. Okay, what are the chances of me winning? What are the chances of me losing? Such that your brain is tuned enough to win or lose. Such that, because what Okia doesn't realize is that even win could have brought him pressure, though it was positive. So you must tune your body to understand that actually people who win are participants, not spectators. So since I'm a participant, I have a chance to win. I have a has to lose. So if of the two happens, I shouldn't be shocked because I am a competitor. And so why would you get pressure because you lost? I mean, you thought you were fighting by yourself or something like that. So Magazine, if I was there's no competition that can give me pressure. Why? Because you are not alone. The one can bring me pressure is if I lose it and I'm competing against myself. That one may bring pressure. But with others, I have already entered a competition which has two results: a lose or a win. So I have to tune my heart to accept one of the two. So while I sympathize with the dead one, I don't sympathize with Okia himself who's here. He put himself in a terrible condition by things. Now I can touch on where his anger came from. NRM primaries, which he probably thought he would win because he understood his constituency. Then the other things came in and he thought he had been unfairly counted. That one is what is relevant today, discussing elections and the feelings that come out of it. You can NRM lost because of those circumstances. Because I don't think he entered NRM by accident. He has been there. But when he went into what he thought was an internal fair competition,
NRM lost to Okea, or Okea is the one who lost in NRM?
No, NRM lost because he is a voter. And multi-party politics is about numbers. Many people confuse democracy with the patriotism or these. No. Democracy is about numbers. Because everybody loves their country. So democracy is strictly numbers. This business of, you guys are not being fair to this country. No. You go to any country where they practice democracy. It's numbers that matter, not how you feel. Democracy has nothing to do with feelings. It has everything to do with numbers. So I understand that I am hoping he returns to NRM. This is the winning party. Actually, I wish I knew him before today. I would have told him, since you're a competitor, fine, leverage your participation, even if you think you may be unfairly treated, but leverage it. You can say, okay, guys, if you realize that they may cheat, because sometimes in these competitions, you can do an analysis, and then okay, this might happen. Now, to reach that end point, also leverage and say, what? If I withdraw from this race, okay, what do I get? So instead of cheating you, they give you something else. Because it's your party, it's your government. Because like I said, multi-party democracy is you want to take over government and lead. So how do you place yourselves? Then I want to talk about money in elections. One, you cannot de-link money from multi-party democracy. Unless you have a nightmare and you don't realize you are having a nightmare. One, in the United States, give money to candidates
and political parties.
Why? Because
in Africa,
the economy is developed. In still doing the opposite. So is involved. Now, I think the biggest problem, we use the word money, but in reality it's supposed to be called resources. You get it? Now, the two scenarios have also their disadvantages and advantages. If voters give you the resources, aka money, and you win, they ask for accountability easily. That's why I think the American government does a better job. The parliament does a better job. Senate does a better job. Because the voters give you money to win.
And to serve.
Thank you very much. And to serve. Here, why we think our politicians tend to ignore us, they are the ones who give us the money to vote for them.
They facilitated
They
themselves.
facilitated that. They to go to the you know to the center to vote.
They have to compensate.
In other words, you want to
themselves
encourage
first
you want to encourage
first.
the leaders to give out money.
Now, this is now the nightmare we face. I've been speaking like for 10 minutes. Okay, has not even understood that even now. Because I told him that you cannot remove money from politics. It just depends at the level of your economic development. In the US, the voters give money to the candidates. In Uganda, the candidates give money to the voters. So in between, I am not encouraging either of the two. I am only talking about the reality of the two. You get it? Eh? So I was only explaining when the two happen, what happens? What result do we get? One, the Americans are able to put the vote their leaders to account. Why? We even paid for your campaign, so do our job. Now in Uganda, we do the reverse. The voters, the winning candidate is like, you people, I put money into you, so do not ask me many questions. So that's why the service delivery gap happens.
So how do we solve such an issue?
And the worst of it, Bwana Chirinjo, is that sometimes they go ahead and borrow this money. And after the elections, whether you won or lost, the loan sharks are looking for you. And that is the worst
they want their money back.
Experience, especially after elections.
They want their money back. So those are the emotions actually you are speaking about. You are asking your local MP to account to represent you. Meanwhile, the MP
is struggling to pay the loan shark.
He is preoccupied with the debt, you know. So that's the challenge. So, but to reply Mr. Okay, that one you there's nothing you can say. What do we do about that? It's a development issue. You get it? United States is 200 years old. That's why voters give money to candidates. Uganda is 60 years old. That's why MPs give money to
the electorate.
But by the time we are 100, which is 40 years from now, those things will change. Of it, what people don't realize that we have been doing it, but you know, in isolated places. There are MPs that come to parliament, and the guy didn't even pay any coin. The voters were like, you know what?
Do we really lack that growth, or we lack discipline?
No.
Political discipline.
It's totally. It's a case of growth. It's a case of development.
We are still young.
Because, for example, Mr. Amon, if you go to, let me give you an example. During the war, especially in northern Uganda, they would bring MPs who have not paid anything. Why? The voters just like, you know, and position, because the voters were like, whatever we are going through has been brought by NRM. Because NRM was in power and Konyi was there. For them, they didn't know the difference between Konyi and NRM. All they knew, NRM has failed to beat Konyi. You get it? So they would vote any MP, whether he has money or zero. As long as
looking for fair representation.
They're just like, if this guy is telling us that we can survive Konyi, good. You can see that's independent thinking. You get it? It has a value of thought. You get it? So, do you know why, for example, in the metropolitan areas, ruling government, not NRM, ruling governments, even in the United States or UK or China for them, their democracy is a bit different. These values, municipalities, the metropolitans, ruling governments struggle. Why? Because those people are not inclined to think into party issues. They are thinking into realities. How much tax am I paying? How much rent am I paying? You know, those affect them directly.
Okay.
So, but on public tensions, to answer your question on public tensions, that one is Uganda has a vibrant law, justice system. All the pressure and anger you come up with from elections, you take it to court, and court pours some ice on you and it tells you, okay, let's look into the facts. So over time, facts come, and then you realize, okay, realistically I lost, realistically I won, and if you won, the election is repeated.
And people still believe that most of the cases that we have in court are not supposed to be there because some of them lack facts, lack cases, lack grounds. But because of the emotions,
exactly,
they all run to the courts, police.
But
and
Amon, I want you to look at court.
There's a friend of mine who was telling me, I'm going not to court, I'm going to the witch doctor. You can imagine.
But you better to encourage him to do it. Why?
You know what?
A car, to let him go to the witch doctor. Do you know why? Who manufactured the car, one of the most technological inputs in that car that I love so much is a shock absorber. A shock absorber is to receive whatever weight that is up there and then, back and continue. So let him go to the witch doctor, because he's going to go to the witch doctor. The witch doctor is going to deceive that person. Of course, there's no solution there.
And also get some
money. The witch doctor is going to get some money, romance the guy for 3 months. Now, by the time the 3 months end, the witch doctor has some money. The complaint has also cooled off. Because the witch doctor cannot make you win the election. But ordinarily, instead of going to the witch doctor, you would have gone to a counselor.
Okay.
But since you went to the witch doctor, let him go.
Others are going to the counselors, while others are running to the church, and those who don't believe in church are going to the other religions that they believe in, or powers. We are glad to be joined by the FDC Secretary of the Electoral Commission, Ojabili Augustine. Is one of our UBC Ground Zero family. Ojabili, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Amon. Thank you, Chirinju, Okea. Unfortunately, I was involved in too many processes to arrive here, so our dear listeners and program manager, I'm very sorry.
It is
for this kind of late coming. It's not my habit.
And it is not the habit of FDC.
It's not even the habit of the party that we must be late for invitations.
Okay.
I'm very sorry and very, very sorry. I apologize,
It
colleagues.
is understandable.
Bahoro have a saying. Kunibisibayo kunkabikija. That don't worry about the delay as long as they arrive.
Okay.
So as long as you have arrived, it's okay. Mr. Jabire, you are welcome.
Interesting. Ojabile, you come and found us discussing the post-election emotions and tensions, but we are also looking at how best we can head as a community, as a people, but also at the political party level. You must also be going through that healing process, especially having lost at the presidential level. Also the numbers have reduced at the parliamentary level, but also at the local level, and it's not the same. It is not a different case from the other political parties, but what is happening in FDC may not be what is happening in other political parties. Why do I say that? Someone next to you on your right is Okea Joseph, who contested on the FDC ticket, but after losing on the MP seat, Bukoli, and that is in Ugiri district, he said FDC should not be my home, and has crossed to NRM. Where does this leave you in this healing process that you're already losing?
From FDC to NRM. I crossed from NRM to FDC.
Yeah, and you are not willing to go back to...
No, I just wanted to respond to my colleague.
Okay.
Because he said, if I had realized before that I was not going to win the primaries, I should have quit earlier, and then I see what I can be given. That kind of attitude of thinking that whoever comes to contest has an idea of being given before maybe leaves the party or something, that is not a rightful idea.
All right, thank you. Okay, Ojabile, that's where you come in. But also all the members that have run from the FDC, it is always after the elections, either within the party or even after the general polls. how are you healing as a political party in this country?
Our dear listeners, I will point out about 3 issues. And the first issue is that people heal differently. People have different emotions, and people have different circumstances that really approach them during the process and after the process. Because you must realize that healing depends on the circumstances around you. At one point, if you recall, in the 2017 elections of FDC, where General Mugisha Muntu was running with Patrick Amuriatoboy, and Semuju Nganda was the campaigning manager of General Mugisha Muntu. Semuju Nganda made it clear, and he's a vibrant speaker. Went on radio and went on his is it Observer?
Yes.
Where he writes so many articles every week, and said this competition is between a villager and a general. By all means, you know what it means. A villager cannot beat a general. So you can't find me on the side of a villager. Now,
That was a very big statement.
So, unfortunately, the villager picked up that word and used it as a campaign tool and said, we are villagers, so we are going to vote fellow villagers. And at the end of it all, Patrick Amuriatoboy beat General Mugisha Muntu. We had 13 polling stations and he won 11 of them. General Mugisha Muntu only won 2 polling stations. So after that, so many people were disgruntled, and they were really humiliated, hurt. Some of them were even leaders. Like we had Winnie Chiza, who was the leader of opposition, was supporting General Mugisha Muntu. And at the end of it all, she even stopped coming for FDC NEC meetings, organ meetings, and leadership in parliament almost went into disarray. The president had to spend sleepless nights trying to call MPs, please, yes, you are not supporting me, but
Come back home.
I am now the president. He made so many calls. He wrote so many letters. Some of them responded positively and some of them did not. But Honorable Semuju, who was the leader of the team, for him, he came in one of the meetings and said, please, allow us heal. So, we went through emotional, financial, and we even almost went into physical challenges because people almost attacked us for the words we used. So allow us to heal. So that's why I'm telling you that we have different levels under which people really must heal. So some people might take 1 month. Some people have already healed. Actually, some people already moving on with the world and are saying things have ended. Let me plan for another year. So some people are still angry. They can't even greet some of their agents. They can't even greet some of their funders, saying, you were supposed to give me 20 million. Why did you give me 10? Now I lost the election because of you. Okay? So then others might even heal after a year or 2. That's how you will find that the next election will find them still not ready. Because they take time to heal. They will not be ready and they will still be having anger against their colleagues who did not support them or who underfunded them. The second issue is now going to be about the issue of what people expect out of a situation like after failing Because what were the expectations? One, there is always a debate between property and ideas. So whoever falls on this either side, you will find that they have difficulties in healing, and their emotions will be always dependent on which side they fall on. Take for example, if your mind was about property and you were saying by all means I must win this election because I want to go there, cut deals. The deal must bring me at least a house worth 1 billion. After 5 years, I must be having a house worth 1 billion. After the elections, I must have a vehicle worth 500 millions. So when you make your calculations, after 5 years, you want property of about 5 billion. Now you go and take so many loans of about 1 billion, expecting that at least if I have 1 billion as a loan,
which I can clear in 6 months.
Yes, I can bring back 5 billions. It will help me. Unfortunately, you take a loan of 1 billion and you lose. And your mind was about property. I want to assure you, it's going to take such a person even a full year to think positively, because they are thinking in a property line. They are not thinking ideologically. Their mindset told them, go win that election, go get A, B, C, D. Now, after losing, that's why you are seeing some of them crying on air, shedding tears. I lost a lot of money. I am now in debts of about 700 millions. Yes. What did you use the money for?
They are selling their houses, cars, and also
what
some
did you
plots.
use the money for? Because you are an MP. You want to run as an MP. You want to win as an MP. What do you use 700 millions for? Okay? Which is in loans. It means he has some of the money which was personal money, which was spent. So he would want to think that what he had as personal money is even more than the loan, because in most cases, what comes up as loan is lesser than what you have spent or what you have put in. Because you have already spent, so you feel, I need this to complete the journey. So you go for 600 million. It means you've spent about 1 billion. And you feel, if I don't get, I've already spent 1 billion. Now, I lose because of 600 millions. Let me go get this loan. I will clear everything. So you see them crying. Now they end up saying, I need help from Mr. Museveni, the one you have been abusing. You say, Mr. Museveni, now they ask you, what kind of help do you want? This guy should not talk about me. Now you end up saying, Museveni should come up to help me. The issue is just property mindset. Now, someone who thinks ideologically, if you lose, your mind is going to say, okay, maybe my ideas did not sell. What was the issue? You go down and you begin calculating. A, B, C, D might have gone wrong. Maybe next time I should change here and there. Those people are always upright. Even when they lose an election, you will always find that they are still thinking positively. That even when a negative attitude comes in,
they know how to manage it.
They know how to manage it, because they did not come thinking about property. They were thinking about how to develop their ideas, share their ideas, and also replicate them into the society.
Individuals in this country?
Very many. We have many. We can't have a society where we only have a single line of...
NRM has very many, actually.
I'm one of them.
NRM is flooding.
Across the FDC.
Actually, that's a very good observation.
It's not just
Because I wanted to tell Mr. Okea that you said you joined FDC?
yes.
From NRM to FDC.
Now,
That is of the NRM.
the submission by Jabil has literally tried the new entrant into the FDC.
But how?
We
How?
Jabil is saying, look, what are your expectations? They will determine some of the things you are going to do after.
We are discussing elections, not primary elections.
That's what Ojabi is saying.
You are diverting.
That when an election of any sort. Now, whether you lose or win, or you are actually, for him, he uses the word ideology. Your ideology determines your reaction. If you material to something, because you are like, how do I miss this one? But if it was service based, you stick there because like, this is where I can deliver.
I have seen one candidate who falls into that line of Ojabile. I think is Honorable Rosie Abraham Luzi, who says, I came here not to serve, not to get anything. I have cars, I have property, I have all I wanted. It is the people that have lost in this. Whether it's right or wrong, but at least he stands on
by whatever, exactly. Thank you very much. That guy stood by. He, even when he lost, he's like, he didn't blame Electoral Commission.
And he was like, I'm not going to inject money in this because I'm coming to serve, not...
Mr. Amon, that man didn't blame Electoral Commission. He blamed the voters. Like, voters, you have missed your best chance.
Okay.
Now,
Ojabilas, you end on that.
I now bring in the third issue. The third issue is about the process and the management of the process by the actors. The process, I am talking about stakeholders like Electoral Commission and the organs that work hand in hand with the Electoral Commission. There's a tendency of creating an environment which is hostile to even some candidates, that you lose, but you lose ingenuinely. You would, but maybe the situations surrounding you have created, have made you to lose, and you cannot really be announced even winner after you have won that election. I heard Mr. Chirinju saying that we have a vibrant court system. True, it is vibrant on radio, but not in court, because they can make statements and assessments on FM stations, on TVs, but when you go
on ground,
you will find out that they are actually they are also just like other government units.
Why then are people running to courts?
Now let me tell you one thing, that when you are drunk, you will get hold to anything that is around you, thinking that you're going to help, it's going to help save you, come back to life. By good luck, you will find a hook that has been put there to help the boat not to sink, and you will come on it. And that's how our court system, you survive in the court system, that by God's grace, you land on an okay who is positive.
Okay.
And in most cases.
But there also has been a perception in the community that when the opposition tend to win some cases in courts is when the courts become legit. When they lose, they say, of course, this is the NRM system.
You see, what happens is that...
do courts only work when you win?
It's not about winning. It's about how you even win. You even go sometimes on agreement, on table. So many cases there, like land cases.
Negotiated.
Like land cases, electoral cases, you negotiate and say, now, I need a portion of this. You have 100 acres, 20 are mine. Deal? Yes, you remain with 80.
Well, but we have also seen some political cases.
You come to political cases, someone will tell you, yes, I am going to announce you directly as a winner. And we must have an agreement on table. A, B, C, D. Will you accept? You say yes. Okay, some deposit. Okay. So this is how
opinions.
This is how things are happening in the judiciary and in other government parastatals. Actually, that's why in most cases you find out that whenever IJG brings out a report, one of the most corrupt areas are the police, the judiciary. Police, judiciary. Why do you think they are the top ranking areas? You mean others don't receive clients?
Thank you so very much. We are taking a very short break, and when we return, we're going to pick your calls and also read out your messages on 776-511-426. Be ready to be able to participate in our programs because we do value your perspectives and also what you share with us. And I want to show you if there are any comments or concerns. My guests in the studios of UBC will always address them. And when we return, we're going to get also to Okea, our former MP contestant, to share from his experience as a candidate where the biggest factors that fuel mistrust and tension after elections, but also looking at many supporters that invest emotionally and financially in some campaigns. How do the candidates help their supporters to process the results and avoid frustration, mistrust, but also turning into anger or conflict, that we can back those that we are able to go through and we move together as a people of Uganda. This is UBC Ground Zero. We're coming back in just a bit. I pray you don't go away.
This is Ground Zero. Stay tuned. We shall be right back. It's hot.
We passed it. We didn't know exactly what the problem was on the ground. There is no pretending about the effect of this thing. There's no pretending about it. Nobody should. It's a problem.
It's balanced.
This is not the stage at which you start planning to tax a commodity like coffee, especially from down there.
It's intellectually engaging.
The Constitution provides that the land must be registered under the customary tenure system, which is one of those that's recognized by the Constitution.
Ground Zero, live and syndicated on your public and national broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
This is UBC Radio, the home of inspiration.
UBC Radio Network, your national preferred choice. We broadcast all over Uganda and beyond. Join us on 98 FM in Kampala, 99.4 FM Lira, and 97.4 FM Arua. UBC Radio, inspiring Uganda.
As Uganda works towards Vision 2040, UBC Radio is dedicated to the development of Uganda. Join us every day for transformative programs in English, Swahili, and Luo. This is UBC Radio. As Uganda works towards Vision 2040, UBC Radio is dedicated to the development of Uganda. Join us every day for transformative programs in English, Swahili, and Luo. This is UBC Radio.
UBC Radio Network, your national preferred choice. We broadcast all over Uganda and beyond. Join us on 98 FM in Kampala, 99.4 FM Lira, and 97.4 FM Arua. UBC Radio, inspiring Uganda.
24/7. Listen to UBC radio shows right here, right now. It's hot.
We passed it. We didn't know exactly what the problem was on the ground. There is no pretending about the effect of this thing. There's no pretending about it. Nobody should. It's a problem.
It's balanced.
This is not the stage at which you start planning to tax a commodity like coffee, especially from down there.
It's intellectually engaging.
The Constitution provides that the land must be registered under the customary tenure system, which is one of those that's recognized by the Constitution.
Ground Zero, live and syndicated on your public and national broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda. Welcome back. Ground Zero continues.
Welcome back. Short break. This is UBC Ground Zero, and we are glad that you are part of us from the other side of radio. Ampaire Buteega is my name, and we have a big team in the studios of UBC who are educating and inspiring us this very morning. And we also want to believe that you are being inspired. The side 76511 is the studio line that you can call or SMS and you'll be part of the conversation. Share your opinions on what needs to be done to make sure that we come together as a society, we come together as the people of Uganda and heal from the emotions and manage these tensions and promote healing in our families, in our communities, and also in our country. Uganda, 776-511-426. You're live on radio. You're live on UBC.
Hello.
You're live on UBC.
Good morning.
You're live on UBC, sir.
Good morning there.
A very good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm called Mr. Kabo, Tony Alonga.
Yes, Tony. You're calling from?
From Sayata.
Right, sir.
There is something that is very touchy that the person you are hosting within the studios is talking about. In Uganda right now, the official language is supposed to be changed to Onyankore. Do you know why?
Not, sir.
40 years of NRM governance and plus, and is yet again going to increase. It has created what we call the hereditary governments. So that one who is talking, very unfortunate, might be even a beneficiary of the UPA scheme. Where we are, it is input in education as a sector that determines the outcome.
So we are talking about post-election tensions. How can we promote healing after those who lost?
So the healing cannot be promoted. We can promote the healings in this manner. People who lost in elections in Uganda are those ones without money. People who won are the ones who have the money to give to the underdogs.
But there are those who have money and they lost.
Negative. That one happened. I'm a person from northern Uganda. I'm looking at it at another perspective. All Westerners, those ones you are seeing there, those ones you are seeing seated in the studios there, check their background. They are all affiliated to the current regime with money. They are the owners of the money. And for them, when money bags are in one basket, there is bound to be a calamity. Those ones are a product of the calamity after losing.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Let me give you one thing.
And quickly, as I want to also get other callers.
Very good. A quick one.
Yes, sir.
Let that young man in the studio not talk what he doesn't know. The list of Ugandans who came from Iran, their name stipulates one region. For us, we are into a Monaco issues, and let him discuss issues guided by nothing but wisdom.
Okay.
For it will change.
All right.
Thank you.
You're most welcome, but I have three gentlemen, so I do not know which one you're referring to. All right. Thank you so very much, Tony, for sharing your views on UBC Radio.
Is my annoyance opinion.
Yes, you're entitled to your opinion, sir. And I also wish and think that he's also entitled to his opinions. UBC Radios.
Amon, good morning. Greeting from Buteega.
Thank you so very much, and glad to have you this very edition.
By name, I'm called Juma.
Yes, sir.
Always part of Ground Zero.
Thank you so very much, sir.
Post-election fever. I wonder why Uganda's laws are sidelined to some few individuals. When I see the CDF threatening on Twitter, he wants the testicle of former presidential election, Bobby Wine. And when Bobby Wine is in hiding, government officials sometimes they tend to pretend they don't know why Bobby Wine is hiding. So many key opposition figures, their incarceration, evidences are there, Kizabesity number one, and the charge of this CDF posting things. But you will never see any query or call. They call this gentleman and they question him. Why is he doing that? And he's a serving military officer. He deserves that respect, not to utter some of other information via the link. But you'll find Chris Baramozi will come and defend that motion. These days you can see if all political actors behave like Honorable Otafire, I think the military would have, their mindset would have changed such that the public there, those who are crying, my election was cheated and ABCD, would have come back to the board that for sure we can have reconciliation. But you will find the key figures within the government and again within the military, they are above the law. Amon, what do we do? How can we reconcile when our opponents, they are becoming more heroes, more powerful than us? So we have to try to make sure after the election, we all come together. You don't intimidate and you don't threaten anybody. Let's try to follow law and the country should be for law-abiding citizens. Then with that, we can reconcile it. I thank you all of you in the studio for today. I wish this topic, time only, not our side, we would have discussed further. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. The Ground Zero there in Butega. Juma is always part of us from the other side of radio, especially in Butega there. From the time memory is one of our own there. Thank you for sharing your views. 776-511-426. Tell us what needs to be done to make sure that we manage all these tensions and we heal as a community from the elections that have just concluded. To make sure that we live together as brothers and sisters, the citizens of this country, but also support those who have been able to go through as our leaders, because the more we keep these tensions, even those that have gone through will not serve us better. They will say sub-county A did not support me, so you will not get my services, and so you'd find that maybe somehow in the 5 years some communities may not benefit from the leadership if we still keep these tensions high as we don't heal. Amon, thank you for the program. And Jeremiah, I'm listening in from Kumi, taking back some candidates are taking back their things that they had given to the constituencies. And I'm reminded of one member of parliament who had to take back the ambulance, saying that they did not support her. Where does this leave the community? And sometimes when they can, and sometimes they remember so easily, and yet people on the ground, they don't forget. When they come, they'll be waiting for you. Okay, thank you so much, Jeremiah, and the people of Kumi there. Amon, thank you for the program and the people that you have in the studios. I am listening in from Entebbe, I think he said Entebbe. People should expect two things, like Chirinju said, either to lose or win. In some democracies, people prepare two speeches, one after losing and one after winning. How I wish we learn from these experiences and we move forward as the people of Uganda. Thank you so very much, people of Entebbe there. Changing, the problem is that we are still young democracies. That's why you see some candidates like changing political parties, like changing clothes from FDC to from FDC to NRM. I think you missed. He was coming from NRM to FDC, and also members of parliament who are changing political parties. Where do you think the people will be settled if we keep changing from A to B? That also creates some tensions, and we need to sensitize our candidates before sensitizing our communities. Okay, thank you so very much for the program. Loan sharks are indeed in town haunting those they gave money, and those who lost and even who won are all on the same pressure. It is not healing for those who lost only, but also those who won but have not had the money to pay back. They are also on pressure. Okay, government should do a post-election community engagement to wash away the bad image they have with communities. How I wish police Uganda how I wish police Uganda how I wish police Uganda, I think Uganda police you meant, they do some reasonable activities in Kawempe in form of social corporate responsibility to make sure that they get back onto this line with people of Kawempe and also the country at large, because we had had bad experience with the security forces, and how I wish they go into those communities and wash away that bad experience. I love what UBDF always do, especially when it comes to Tare Sita, by those activities, and I think that brings back their relationship with the communities. Kudos to the political commissar UPDF. Okay. Ground Zero, good morning. How do we deal with triggers in the healing process? I am looking at someone trying to heal and he hears misinformation and bad rumors about him, or he meets the agents who ate his money and did not campaign for him. Those are triggers that sometimes don't let people to heal. All right. You're live on UBC. UBC. Okay, call again on 776-511-426 and we shall be able to pick your calls and also get your perspectives or concerns. Allow me go back to the studios for my guests to answer some of those concerns or address some of them, and we continue with our Ground Zero. Chirinju, Okea, and Ojabil in that order.
Thank you very much. I didn't want to leave the studio today and leave Okea in FDC. I want to go back with him.
He should come home.
He should come back home. Those things happen. But let me give him one of the political quotes that I love so much, because he was saying, I moved because I didn't want to do this, I wanted service delivery, you know. But there's a gentleman called it's called Bertrand Russell. He said, quote direct, our great democracies still tend to think that a stupid man is more likely to be honest than a clever man. And our politicians take advantage of this prejudice by pretending to be even more stupid than nature made them. So, okay, is there trying to romance us that he shifted because he wanted service delivery? So he was pretending to be stupid more than he actually nature made him. He just wanted to be parliament and get the goodies of parliament, because that's what we do. If you do service delivery after reaching there, thank God. But realistically, you want to go to parliament and get the goodies. Don't pretend that you want what I mean. However, I insist politics, democracy is about numbers. Politics may be about service delivery, but democracy is about numbers. That one, no one should ever lie you. In the United States right now, if you go there, I like referring to US because when I was growing up, US was pretending to be the best democracy in the world. As I dug into it, I realized these guys are they're maybe worse than us.
Are they not democratic?
That's the point I'm making. The people who hated Trump, one of them is the vice president, one of them is his vocal MP, because they look, Trump has the numbers. If you continue...
Well, that is democracy.
Thank you very much. Ojabir has just concluded it. But let me go back now to our... Because that's the point I was making.
Yes, a democracy, you can hate anybody during the process, but you can come up and agree to disagree.
So that's what I told, that instead of having
in politics, like that, there are no permanent enemies.
Exactly. Instead of having reacted like that, he should have read the situation. I have a case I know of somebody very close to me in a certain district. He didn't like, there were two big players. He realized the one who was his best friend had no numbers. He had to sacrifice. And right now is as you know, history. Now, let me go back to the question that came up. Someone was saying the court decisions, that I think that was a Jabir. Yeah, court decisions, but again, Mr. Amon, I think you made an input on it, that when the decisions go their way, they're like, okay, democracy is working. When they go against them, the government, these decisions of court, they will rely on many factors as presented by both sides. So it's very difficult right now to make. But again, democracy as a concept also distorts democracy. People tend to think that democracy promotes justice. Sometimes it also disorganizes it. Again, case scenario, US. In United States, the police have a certain law called, I forget the name of that law. But that law, I think before we go, I'll remember it. That law states that a policeman can shoot you dead and he won't be charged in court. A democratic.
But it has the ingredients.
Those ingredients render the person shot or the family unable to charge the policeman, even when facts come later that the policeman was wrong. It's a democratic kind of law. You're like, what? It is in the constitution. But so sometimes democracy is not your perfect thing. But I agree with anybody who supports democracy for one reason, that of all institutions of leadership that man has invented, from monarchy to dictatorship to democracy, is still the best with its flaws. So I would be joining the Jabir. I'm still in the middle because I want to take him back to promote democracy. That so because at the end of the day, it is the best case scenario in terms of leadership.
From his facial expression, he's willing to join you again. I think he must be leaving Ojabir.
So another question was, why is police and judiciary the most corrupt? I don't think they're the most corrupt, but the frequency of corruption is found there. But because I want you to imagine, if me, Ojabir, and Okea were driving cars with issues, chances that by the day ends, would have lost 50,000 combined. I gave a policeman 10,000, Ojabir gave the other guy 15, I gave the other guy 20, Mageza gave him the remaining. So would have lost like 50,000. But if I was involved in another serious case, I would leave there $1 billion. And it would not hard. Somebody could even have recorded us giving out 10K, but somebody may not record us giving out 500 million. So the frequency of corruption in these two institutions is what is the problem, not the real problem. Because corruption happens in other places at a high level. But also, how do we solve corruption? One, don't commit a crime. If you have your car, put whatever is supposed to be there so that the policeman doesn't stop you. You are solving corruption at personal level. Then two, if somebody is trying to force you to do something, report that I am being charged with this for a small misdemeanor I did. So corruption starts with us. Then there's this guy called Tony says Nyankore is official language. What's wrong with that? We are trying to get a local language to be the national language. whether it's Runyankole, whether it's Uganda. Like Uganda is spoken without anybody forcing you. You get it? You find guys in Kisoro speaking Uganda. So should we complain? And the reason why we are speaking Uganda is because when the colonials came here, the first place they reached was Uganda, took it over, and for some reason Uganda became promoters of colonialism. So should we hate them like that? For that reason? No. Because the circumstances at that time were that subjugation began at least somewhere. Baganda were as victims as the rest of us. You get it? So you cannot say Uganda because Baganda were the ones who brought colonialism. They were also victims. You get it? So if Runyankole is the national language, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I would have promoted it if I was given a chance. He says I may be a product of UPE. What's wrong with being a product of UPE? Currently, half of Uganda's education system is UPE. So is half of the country like me? But he didn't say me, like you said. You asked him that there are many people in the studio. So I don't know whom you're talking about. So you are right. And we were saying, I think he said that money in politics is calamity. I don't know what he meant that. But let me go to Juma in Buteega. Juma in Buteega, thank you very much for being part of this show every time he calls in. But he talks about the opposition being in jails. That's a valid point. There were criminalities or misdemeanors that happened during elections. These youth that were arrested, let the court hurry up their processes, because some of the cases they did were not that dangerous. In discipline, the president has even mentioned it. Some of it was in discipline cases. So in discipline cases, you can sometimes I think we have an issue as a community, as a country. You go to downtown and the Mwara is full of bottles and Kavera, and you have people in Luzira City doing nothing. Bring them with the indisciplinados. The whole week your punishment is to sit to the Mwara, remove bottles and then Jeremiah was talking about taking back the promises after losing. This is the problem of I think what Jabir was talking about. You come with thinking for you they either lose or I win. That kind of attitude don't make us do such things. You have given a community an ambulance, leave it with them. You never know, you may come back later. Then I thank the people of Entebbe who said write 2 speeches when you are going to a contest, because there are only 2 outcomes: either a lose for you or a win for you. So write 2 speeches. So whatever happens, you give the speech. Now there's somebody I was going to say that this one for care, changing political parties should be a thought out process, not an instant angry decision. In his case, it was totally an angry decision. Also, now lastly was that I think the last person you talked to, misinformation can also make hearing very difficult.
Okay, I need to bring in, okay?
Thank you so much, and thank you, my friend. I want to get back to the topic before I answer a few questions. One of the issues that the nation should turn onto is to have a national dialogue, especially to those that participated from the level of president, the candidates themselves. If they have a dialogue, an interface dialogue, where they can draw all candidates that were participating in the elections, I think that can help raise issues. Every candidate can come up with an issue, maybe highlight the challenges that they underwent during elections. That can help them condense the anger, condense the feelings. We also need to look at the security circles. You realize during elections, the army was deployed everywhere, some of whom used to torture people, without cases. One of the persons, a caller who said BSJ and then Rutale are arrested without trial. Since November 2024, the people are in courts and they are not tried. So we need to engage cultural leaders in this case. We need to engage religious leaders to come and intervene, to see that they can maybe dialogue with the existing government, the ruling government, to see how possible we can probably release these people, because they have never been tried, meaning either it means they do not have the case, but it's kindly a political issue that is just covered up. So before we think of any other thing, you cannot have a national dialogue when other people are incarcerated in prisons without any trial. So let's have these people brought on board, probably release them without any condition. Of late, BSJ said he will not come back to court because he does not see the essences of coming to court without any trial. So as a nation, we need to look through that as well. My colleague is talking about Joseph leaving the party in anger. I don't think I left in anger. When you look at...
But it is also okay to be annoyed.
Yes, it is also okay as well.
Yeah.
Because
you can be annoyed and it is genuine.
When
you're
you
a human
draw,
being.
when you draw an example of President Museveni in 1980s, he quotes that he was cheated of an election. And that's where he picks his anger to go and launch a guerrilla war, which successfully ended up as a leader. Right now he's a leader because he wasn't comfortable with the 1980 elections. So probably personally I wasn't comfortable with the processes that Tango Doi took us through during that primary elections. And therefore I chose to go and look for a space, because J. Maxwell talks about influence. Politics is about influence. So if I look out for a position that can help me go through and get the influence, then the better. So that's not any problem. Maybe because somebody else said our country is still undergoing a process of democracy, growing democratically. You may take long to understand that a person has a will to change a party at any time, because it's a democracy as well. It's upon me to decide where to go. I can even decide to leave the party, FDS as well, and go anywhere else. It is just definitely democracy.
That's why I was encouraging you to come back, because now because you have the will.
I do not see the reasons why I should get back to NRM.
What I'm saying, what you have explained is clear. You can decide what to do. You
at an appropriate time.
You can even change it. You can even make your own party. So you also have a chance to return to NRM.
Those are fruits of democracy.
Exactly.
As for now, I do not have any reasons why I should go to NRM. We realized that a few weeks to elections, civil societies went through a crucial moment whereby they were shut down. For example, we had a National Coalition of Human Rights that was shut down, and on reasons of politics, African Center for Media Excellence was shut down. Why? Because they were threatened, probably that they were demanding free and fair elections. So before we think about coming together, we think about healing politically, we need to invite all the civil societies that were affected, bring them back to the board and dialogue, see how possible can we heal their feelings. How do we bring them back to get to their normal situations?
Okay, interesting. Jabil?
Finally, as I wind up, government should look out for a design on how security officers, security sectors should be exited. For example, UPDF is not supposed to participate politically during elections. They should design a format on how they should exit UPDF completely out of electoral commission, because you realize UPDF is usually brought in as a substitute of police, and yet police has a mandate to protect the citizens. But you find out that during elections, again, it is UPDF that oversees the elections. There is a mix-up. And then judiciary. Ojabile talked about judiciary. I think he will talk more about it. Judiciary as a system needs to be given an independent control over its own.
Is it not independent now?
It's not independent.
How?
Judiciary is not independent. If it was independent, you would see the likes of BSJ being charged, because they will always, for example, of late, the judge did not turn up.
Different cases take different processes.
True, different cases. These different cases take different procedures, but depending on who.
Okay, but thank you so very much.
That's subjective thinking, but also you're entitled to it anyway. So.
Anyway, I would want to begin from where Okoya stopped. You see, our judicial system has made life very hard for people who do not have influence and who do not have money that can be spent explicitly to make sure that things run as they must. You see, I can give you an example. It's a political case, but it also puts the judiciary in a spotlight. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Amon, who ridiculously influenced a process of deleting members who were running against her from the register. When this matter went in front of court, they did not schedule the hearing dates until after elections, at a point where we did not have internet. That's when they scheduled, and the hearing went on within that 1 week when we were off internet. So the scheduling was done, and if for you to know that your matter has been scheduled, it had to be on the website of judiciary, which code would only arrive to you through internet. There was no email, there was no SMS, there was no phone call to the persons accusing Anita Amon. They only know the matter after hearing had already ended, and it was at the ruling point. So, this is judicial. It knows internet has been cut off. It is putting something on the website, knowing very well that you will not receive it. Then hearing goes on without the person accusing. Now it's a disguise in managing of a matter, pretending that you are actually handling a matter in court, yet in actual sense, you are just promoting injustice. This is not the first time. It happened in 2020. The same person from Buteega against another person. It was a lady called Akol then. Today it was against a lady called Noma Susan Otai. So I don't know in 2031 who is the next victim, but we must be sure that there will be a victim. And the judiciary is ready to support such kind of victimization. In the entire of Buteega district, there's only one lady who is a resident and who is a scholar. The rest are stupid. They have never gone to school. They are not residents.
With all also Jubilee, and those are some of the tensions that indeed we have. I see we are spreading and preaching of the same, but we need to bring people
You see,
together.
when we are talking about helping people to heal, facts must come on table, so that you say, I am sorry, it will not happen again. I've told this even to Electoral Commission. I've told them, you must look at Buteega as a serious district that you must pay attention to. Otherwise, we are going to have a volcano erupting from that district, because people have been stepped on. It looks like Anita has now taken over that district as a personal district, that nobody should ever rise up to run against her. If she's so strong, why can't she allow even a senior 6 candidate to run against her? Go in, 98%. Come as a winner. Don't come as someone overstepping your powers and stepping on people's rights. Every election, that must happen.
Are you saying there was no election in that area?
No.
It wasn't there.
What happened?
People even removed from the register.
They were removed from the register.
About 4 people who wanted to run against her. Then the one who pretended to come in at the last minute.
Because you see,
was now, I don't know, I can't say was bought off, but they say was a relative. So
Amon, I come from Rubabo. The outgoing MP is FDC.
Rubabo? Yes.
FDC.
Yes.
But NRM voted that guy in. Why? We were annoyed with our NRM candidate at that time.
Was FDC even when that place is known for the NRM majority?
Yes, Rubabo County has been voting
NRM consistently.
So that time even another constituents were voting FDC. Rubabo has been voting. Now, this outgoing MP was the exception, because the constituents was annoyed with the NRM candidate at the time. So no matter what she did, the campaign managers for Naboth were NRM. And they only told him, do not go to parliament and disturb the president. That was the agreement. We don't go to parliament and disturb the president.
He went and disturbed him, so they disturbed
I know. Well, in the 5 years that followed, NRM went back and sorted their house. So this time, even if he came as NRM, he would have still lost, because now NRM what they did, we used the 5 years to solve our internal issues.
Okay.
For you went and sat down to organize yourself.
All right,
okay?
gentlemen.
But what happened?
In seconds, I need. We have very few minutes to end our discussion, and how I wished we use the remaining minutes to also look into and throw our wings, spread our wings to other parts of the country, also to make sure that we understand what happens beyond the borders, our borders, because we believe that international relations, there is no country that lives in a isolation. Based on what is happening in Iran and the US-Israel conflict, where do we base ourselves? How do you zoom in and look into things? Just a few hours ago, USA bombed one of the Kaga islands of Iran, where it has a lot of oil infrastructure there, prompting Iran also to threaten USA-linked oil targets. Meanwhile, UAE air defense interrupted 7 ballistic missiles and 27 UAVs on just yesterday, with total engagements really taking place. With this kind of escalation, we are looking at 285 ballistic missiles. We are looking at 15 cruise missiles. We are looking at so many things that are being lost in Iran and also Israel. What does this mean to us as Africans? Is there any lesson we can pick? There are so many people who are very scared that the raising prices on the market may also affect all of us, including Uganda. From you as leaders in your respective capacities, how do you look into these issues? Ojabili, Okea, and also Chideshu, in that order. Just 1 minute, and we shall give our parting shots in line with our topic today.
You see, Amon, we must be so careful while speaking about international issues, because they influence a lot of things. This war in Iran did not begin 2 months back. This has been an internal war. It has been a quiet war which has taken over 10 years. It has been growing and growing. If you recall, for those who did history and maybe political science, that one of the things that led to World War I and World War II was about tensions, the pull and push factors from the would-be superpowers then, where America was not part. America was not superpower then. But you would really see we had the allied powers and the aligned powers, where you had the Germans who were with England. Then we had the people still Iraq. It was the other side with the Iranis. By then we had Morocco, which was also another strong power then. So when you look at how things were happening, Spain, okay, Belgium, so these were France, these were strong nations which were really, at one point, each country started fearing the other. And they started reproducing fighting weapons, weaponry, ammunitions, gunpowder, to make sure that they are stronger, they are prepared enough than their counterparts. And in the end, they started trying them out. Say, now, I need to try the machine and see whether it works out well. Now, today, as we are speaking, the U.S. made a statement that these people who say they are their colleagues must accept the war, and they should allow that they go on and confront Iran and put it down. Obviously, me, in my assessment, when I look at what the two, even if America did not get any support from other teams, it can win that war squarely. If they decide to go on one-on-one, America will win that war. Because if you look at how many aircrafts it has thrice more than Iran. If you look at how many shipments it has about like 4 times more than Iran. When you look at the most what can I say, up-to-date ammunition it is over 10 times ahead of Iran. Okay, but this may not be the most essential thing to talk about. The most important thing is that we must learn to coexist. Understand that this person is really not doing the right thing. Find alternative means other than taking a life. But we should also caution what must have prompted. We need to dig deeper. What has prompted the U.S. into going into Iran and decide to bomb them down, kill their leader? Because you've always seen the Supreme Leader would always come on air and warn America that you guys, ABCD. I've seen another warning by last night. There's another warning by the new Supreme Leader saying that expect us, prepare yourself, but expect us. So such kind of threats, obviously, just to know that if I am a son to my dad and my dad hears me warning him that, Dad, expect me anytime I'm coming.
In a second, sir, I have very few minutes to end. I need to bring in okay and the children.
What do you think?
Any lessons for Africa or African countries?
Lessons for Africa is that let us do the right thing. Today, soon or later, what is happening in Iran can happen in Uganda. Whatever happened in Iran is happening because of leadership. It happened in Libya. It happened in Egypt. It happened in so many African countries, about 4
Thank
of
you.
them. And it happened here in our neighborhood in Sudan. All this is happening. Our leaders need one thing, that
Thank you, sir.
serve your people,
Time.
live. Let other people take over. Let our communities prosper. Even without you, communities can grow.
Your parting shots, I may not get time to come back to you, Ojabili, in line with our topic today.
Basically, our topic today is so interesting in a way that I think our people need to ideally grow in the mindset that communities appreciate and depreciate us. However, let everybody play their role, okay? Let everyone play their role. If I'm electoral commission, let me not side with another candidate in order to disenfranchise or even make it completely unable for another person to win. Let people play their roles in line with how they can actually make it, so that the winner takes it. The loser should lose genuinely. The winner should win genuinely.
Thank you so very much, Ojabili. Okay, you have 1 or 2 minutes. If you can zoom in and you in Iran, USA, Israel conflict, you may as well give us your concluding remarks if you don't have any.
First of all, I've been observing USA trend. When USA attacked Venezuela leadership, one of the reasons they were giving was not very clear. But when you look through the internal politics of USA, they have a feeling that actually they are scared that if Venezuela, that had a lot of fuel, petroleum, would remain stable, probably it would fund more. It would cooperate with the other international countries. For example, Russia would continue maybe purchasing with them fuel. When you look at Iran as well, it is one of the highest producing oil across the whole world. So the target of USA ideally is to destroy the economy of these big countries. It's not all about maybe coming up to fight or something. They are hiding something very crucial. They are aware that Russia is not their good ally. They are aware that China is not their good ally. But then China and Russia, they are good allies of Iran and probably Venezuela. So the intention is to cripple China and Russia in one way or the other, but using the opposite side. And that's why they are really targeting these two nations. Briefly, that's what I can tell you.
One thing to learn on our topic.
One thing to learn from such kind of international wars is that Africans, especially our country Uganda, as leadership, the leadership today, you need to know that your tongue is very important. What you speak today may cause you a problem tomorrow. For example, our CDF, what he has been tweeting is very, very dangerous for the nation. That's one thing I have to say. So we need to limit on this in the ways we communicate. Let our communication be positive, be something that contributes to the nation building. Thank you.
Chirenjo.
Oh, thank you very much. Somebody mentioned one of our colleagues, I think it was either Jabir, I don't remember. No, I think it was Care, that we need national dialogue. A democracy does not need a national dialogue. You have parliament with all parties, that's national dialoguing. To me, if you want to initiate a national dialogue, then we go back to the individual merit. But in a democracy, what national dialogue? When you have a parliament with opposition leader, that's you are dialoguing already. Thank you very much. on the international scene, I agree with Ojabir that Ojabir made a comment that I like so much. Some of these wars are taken advantage of by weapons manufacturers to test how their equipment are working. While people are dying, someone's like, this need to work. Well, I think we need to add more. It's a very sad situation. However, your question was, how does Africa, how should Africa look at this situation? One, I wanted to share another political proverb by somebody called Stanley Kubrick, and he says, the great nations have always acted like gangsters, and the smaller nations like prostitutes. Now, if you look at the Iran and the U.S. conflict and Israel, there are many all these Arab countries are prostitutes. Why? The gangster is in the house. So USA is basically escorting. Actually, by the way, US has no case with Iran. Israel does. So for Israel to bomb Iran, US must approve. Obama refused. George Bush refused. Biden refused. Finally, US made a mistake and elected some goon who just has no clue. And Israel was like, thank God, because the other day the Israeli Prime Minister said, I have wanted this for the last 40 years. And he was right, because there's evidence that the same reason he gave Trump to support him to bomb Iran, he gave it to Obama, and Obama's like, you can go to hell. You go and bomb them, I won't be with you. If they retaliate against you, you sort yourself. But the most important thing about what we should learn from your question is Africans need to find, and the president has been saying it, we need to find our defense anchor. If Uganda got a problem with US, where do we lie? Who supports us to tell US, no way, you cannot do that? Iran is on their own, and Uganda could easily be on their own. So Africans, especially the East African community, we need to sit and say, okay, if we cannot federate, at least let's have a federal army, let's have a federal defense mechanism, let's have Kenya and Uganda in the East African community are the ocean, and Congo, though it's not yet fully integrated into the community, we can have a navy there. So let us integrate at least the defense systems as we push for the political system.
Your parting shots?
My parting
line
shots,
with our topic.
Let's we very soon in NRM we are going to have a swearing ceremony very soon. Let us heal. Let us go back to work and develop our country. There is no any other home we have. Even if you are annoyed with your brother, you are annoyed with your mother, it is your home. So let us heal. Let us go back to work. Mr. Okea, come back to NRM, reorganize, and you could be the next MP for that very same constituency in the next 5 years.
Interesting. That brings us to the end of our discussion. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for being part of us from the time we started this program until now that we say goodbye to our dear listener, Kundos, and we can't take that for granted. We are always here because we know that you're always there. We were on 5 radio stations that cover this program: UBC Butebo in eastern Uganda, UBC Western Nile in the heart of Arua City, UBC Radio in Kampala, Micro 100 FM in Kampala, and also Voice of Bundubujo there in Bundubujo. And also we stream live on YouTube. Just put UBC Ground Zero and you will always be part of the conversation. Thank you so very much for those who called in and sent your messages and were part of the program. And we can't take that also for granted. Until next time, same station, same program. It was a privilege having Okea Joseph and former member contestant in Bugiri district there, or North. From the FDC, and Chirinju Majis is coming from Government Citizen Interaction Center. From me and the team, my executive producer Doreen Desi, producer Msimenta Allen, programs officer Frank Masajage Yiga, happy birthday today. I understand that today is a special day for you. And here Katulebe and also Bob Brian Mugisha, it is a privilege having you, our dear team, to make sure that this program comes to you live. Ampaire, Amon, Buteega. Until next time, same station, same program. Repeat of this program is always on Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. on UBC Radio 98.0 FM and also on Voice of Bujo same time, that is on Monday. Till next time, same program, same stations. For God and my country, Ampaire, Amon, Buteega. Allow me now, sign out.
It's hot.
We busted. We didn't know it.
It's hot.
We busted. We didn't know exactly what the problem was on the ground. There is no pretending about the effect of this thing. There's no pretending about it. Nobody should. It's a problem.
It's balanced.
This is not the stage at which you start planning to tax a commodity like coffee, especially from down there.
It's intellectually engaging.
The Constitution provides that the land must be registered under the customer tenure system, which is one of those that's recognized by the Constitution.
Ground Zero, live and syndicated on your public and national broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda. UBC Radio Network, your national preferred choice. We broadcast all over Uganda and beyond. Join us on 98 FM in Kampala, 99.4 FM Lira, and 97.4 FM Arua. UBC Radio, inspiring Uganda.
Is independent sound. UBC has 11 sister radio stations spread throughout the country to educate, inform, and entertain. Tune in to UBC Radio FM 98, your national radio station, Magic 100, where sports and music is our life. 87.5 Star FM in Uganda, 97.4 UBC West covering Western Uganda, 102 Mega FM in Gulu, 97 FM Butebo Radio in Eastern Uganda, 107.0 Buduri FM, 100.5 Ngea FM in Kasese, 98.0 West Nile FM in Arua, Totore Radio FM 90 in Karamoja, and 93.0 Voice of Mundbujo. Now you're covered in your local language. UBC Radios, inspiring Uganda.
Yo, King Kong, DJ Lee Dan Tojo, Shannon, Aaron X, you ready, you know? Now you know how we do it.
Jagalan Columbus and my police. Over the Queenie Motivity. Quibin the name singer Obi Guana. Dinari, inside in the city. Don't worry about money. You call me Caesar, give me all you want.
Yeah, give me some sugar, give me some salt. Bet you get the chunk of you break backbone. Wonder you listening, I'm full of action. Sick comic is in a Simpson. Body on Mugati Bampetos. So, I see the Kuni Batani Bows. Charlie Chande Mafene Masanda Navi Goose. Chokumundi Machamuko Kirekizo. Aquatakumukwe, Adako Igere. Was the way you wiggly at the best. Simba Gigere, Adakumukwe. Was the way you jiggly at the best. Yeah.
Body to body singa kusanga. Omo video kulaba kwa chimanda. Na rabo wandi bateka bufumba. Tusindire mukwano mu masuka. Body to body singa kusanga. Omo video kulaba kwa chimanda. Na rabo wandi bateka bufumba. Tusindire mukwano mu masuka. Baby, we kuchobe kula bisomo chimo kubatikitaka. Leka nkusitule chirunji tozitowa. Gira nyogodola kawato bojikola when you whine and you whine and you whine and you
body to body, you know I'm loving your body. The way you shake your booty, you can cause a tsunami. Slow wine, take time, turn up your honey. Kurukundo kwesiva, our love is a journey. Attitude spicy, tumleta koka janja. Body with the brain, achila kone malaiko. Bulunji webutu sana musaja kumukeka. If you ever leave, na yumba kumaweka. Your body,
call me Caesar. JJJJ, later, come see me later.